Hello and welcome back to Gaming Thoughts and Talks. I am your host here, Aiden, and today we are going to be playing Siege once again. But before we get right into this video, I do want to say thank you guys so much for watching the videos. Our last one just hit over 400 views, and it is still climbing, and that is amazing to see. So, yeah, just want to say thank you. And if you guys do enjoy these, keep liking and subscribing for more, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace. So, do you guys ever have one of those months where life just decides to test you? Like the universe just woke up, stretched, maybe cracked its knuckles, said, yeah, let's see what this man is made of. Because that's exactly what just happened to me in this past January. It all hit at once. Financial trouble, a friend stabbing me in the back, getting a speeding ticket while I was just trying to get home. And then on top of all of that, I had to take a step back from everything. School, goals, and life, and just breathe. And figure out where I'm gonna be and how I'm gonna do this. And the craziest part is none of it happened slowly. It all hit me like a truck, like a combo move, like just 1, 2, 3, 4. Life really said, let's drop all the side quests, and the final boss is here, right at the same time. But here's the thing that I've learned though. Life gets messy before it gets good. And I don't mean the cute kind of messy. I mean, shit's getting messy. Like you're staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. like, bro, what chapter of the story is this? Because I used to think mess meant failure. Now I'm starting to realize mess just means a transition. Mess means a test from God, telling you, this is your time. Your life is shifting, breaking, and rearranging itself. And yeah, it feels terrible in that moment. But sometimes the only way life gets your attention is by falling apart a little. So, let's get started with the financial one, because man, my bank account was looking at me like it was disappointed in me. Like it wanted to sit me down and have a serious talk. I'd open my banking app and it would basically say bills, debt. Deposit, no, there is no deposits. You know what it looked like in there? Yeah. You know, I don't want to spoil it, but not much, a lot of red. And from that, I started stressing so much about money. Everything else started feeling so much heavier. I had to question every single decision I made. It started making me feel guilty for even existing, for even wanting to have some sort of small life outside of, school and work and all that. Like, I felt really upset spending money. And you start to do math in your head, like you're planning a NASA mission every single time you need to spend some sort of money. And the worst part is financial stress doesn't just hit your wallet. It actually hits your confidence, and it makes you feel like you're behind in life, like you're failing and everybody else is moving forward, while you're stuck in that same spot, financially burdened. But here's the truth. I had to remind myself, money problems don't mean you're irresponsible. Sometimes they mean you're human. Sometimes they mean life threw more at you than you were prepared for. And sometimes that means You're in a rebuilding season. And rebuilding seasons are very uncomfortable, but they are necessary for you to get on and move forward in life and better yourself for that future. So I guess we'll move on to the next one. This one hit quite different. And that is the friend situation. Because the financial trouble, that's one thing. You know, I can get by, you know, trying to, you know, either sell my body, I'm kidding, but, you know, move on by figuring out how to make some money here and there. But when someone you trust switches up on you, that hits you right in your heart, not your wallet. And I'm not gonna name names. I'm not gonna get even messier. But let's just say someone I considered a serious friend decided to do something I will never look at him the same for. Like, he just woke up and said, "Yeah, I'm done being loyal to this guy." And I'm just sitting there like, bro, why? What did I miss? Like, was there some meeting about, like, a vote? What in your head made you consider doing this action? It wasn't even the action itself. It was just the betrayal, the feeling of being blindsided, the realization that you trusted someone, and yet they didn't value you the way you valued them. And that's a kind of pain that doesn't show up loudly. It shows up real quiet. It shows up when you're alone. It shows up when you're replaying conversations in your head. And it shows up when you start doubting your own judgment. And you start looking at the small little hints here and there that shows you, wow, he showed his true colors before he really showed it. Just these little hints here and there. But that's besides the point. Here's what I really learned. Losing the wrong people is part when you have to find the right ones. Sometimes life removes people from your path because they were actually blocking the next chapter. And yeah, it hurts. But sometimes the pain is the point. It wakes you up. It shows you that love doesn't come without a price. And that price can be pain. But it can also lead to a greater love, all in all. Now, let's talk about the speeding ticket, because this one felt really personal to me. I wasn't even doing anything crazy. I wasn't drifting some corners like I'm in Fast and Furious 12, which, by the way, I don't even know where they're at in that series. Like, I wasn't racing anybody. I wasn't even really late. I literally was just trying to get home. And you know that feeling when you're, like, exhausted, mentally done, just emotionally overwhelmed, and all you want is just to jump in bed? Well, I know that feeling because that was me, just trying to get home, hoping everything will just be okay. And then out of nowhere, boom, lights, sirens, and my soul just left my body. And I just said, please, not today. Please don't let this be the day. And the officer walks up, asks me, do you know why I'm pulling you over? I'm sitting there like, honestly, sir, at this point in my life, it could be anything. But maybe the universe filed a fucking complaint on me. It tells me I was speeding. And I'm like, yeah, I was trying to speed run my way out of this month, but he didn't care. And he tells me, yeah. I just nodded, like, disappointing. And then he hands me a ticket, and I swear I just hear this boss fight music playing in my head, and And it wasn't even like the money, which, by the way, ridiculous amount of money. I can't even believe he put that much money on it. Then, like, it was just the timing, the symbolism. Like, life said, "Oh, you thought I was done? No. Here's one more. You know, we'll have that one go along with it as well. You know, one for the road." And that's like, oh, that's when it all like hit me all together. All three of those things simultaneously in like 1 week, a 1 week span. I'm like, boom. I need to take a break. Not like a dramatic "I'm disappearing forever" break. Not a life is over break. Just pause. Because I was juggling way too much. Not only was I juggling school, my life goals, you know, work, money stress, friend drama, my own mental health, and I dropped all of it. All of it. It just all hit the floor. And I realized I was trying to sprint through life with no energy. I was trying to be productive while running on fumes. I was trying to keep pushing when what I really needed was just to take a step and stop and breathe. So I stepped back. I gave myself permission to slow down, to focus on school, to focus on my goals, and focus on rebuilding instead of pretending everything was fine. And honestly, this pause could not be a better thing to have happened to me. But here's the thing. Nobody tells you about how life gets so messy. And it doesn't just like hit you all at once. It kind of sneaks up. Like, you're just a little annoyed at first, like friend sends something stupid, get annoyed. Then you're a little tired. And then, you know, you're sitting there like, wow, I am exhausted. That was a long day. And then it just keeps piling up. And that's kind of when it clicked to me. It wasn't the money or the friend or even that stupid ticket. Still upset about that. And it wasn't even school. It was the fact that I hadn't stopped to process any of it. I was trying to push through, trying to be strong, and like trying to act like I could handle everything at once. Trying to pretend like I wasn't overwhelmed. But the truth was, I was overwhelmed. You know, and admitting that didn't make me weak. In fact, it made me honest with myself and honest with others. Because there is a moment in every messy season where you finally stop running from that chaos and you just sit. And you sit with it. And you look at your life and go, okay, well, you know, it's not pretty, but, you know, it's real. And that moment, that's where the healing really starts. And the craziest part is once I slowed down, I started seeing everything so clear. Like, painfully clear. I realized the financial stress wasn't just about money. It was about me needing to be better and structure my life better. I realized the friend who betrayed me wasn't a loss. It was a lesson. I realized the speeding ticket wasn't the universe punishing me, but it was a sign that I'm rushing through life without taking care of myself. And I realized school wasn't the enemy. I just wasn't giving myself the space to actually focus. And once I stepped back, everything started making sense. Sometimes life does get loud. so you have to listen. Sometimes things fall apart, so you have to stop pretending they're fine. Sometimes people leave you, so you stop carrying their dead weight. And sometimes you hit a wall, so you finally change direction. And it's weird, but the chaos, it has a funny way of revealing the truth. And the truth was, I needed to rebuild, not just from scratch, but from honesty. So once I finally slowed down, I started rebuilding. And not in some dramatic movie montage way, not in a wake up 5 a.m. grind way, just quietly. I started focusing on school again and actually giving myself time to study instead of trying to multitask life and stress at the same time. I started organizing my goals, not all at once, but one at a time, and started cleaning up my space, my schedule, and my mind. And the wild part, the moment I stopped trying to fix everything, instantly things actually started getting better. I stopped chasing people who didn't value me. I stopped stressing over things I couldn't control. I stopped pretending I was okay and actually started working on being okay. Rebuilding isn't loud. It's not glamorous. It's not something you post on Instagram. It's slow. It's quiet. It's uncomfortable. But the one thing it is it's real. And for the first time in a long time, I felt like I was actually moving forward instead of just surviving. And here's the biggest thing I learned. Life getting messy doesn't mean you're losing. In fact, it actually means you're changing. Sometimes the universe has to shake your life up because you wouldn't move otherwise. Sometimes you need to lose people to make room for better ones. Sometimes you need to hit a financial low to learn discipline. And sometimes you just need a wake-up call, even if it comes in the form of a speeding ticket, to slow down. Sometimes you need a break to remember who you are. I used to think I had to keep pushing no matter what. Now I realize sometimes the strongest thing you can do is pause. Because when you pause, you see it clearly. When you pause, you heal. When you pause, you grow. And when you pause, you choose your next move instead of reacting to everything else around you. And that shift, that moment where you stop running and start rebuilding, that's when life starts getting good again. And I'm not gonna sit here and pretend everything is perfect now, because it's not. I'm still figuring stuff out. I'm still learning. I'm still rebuilding. But I'm rising. And I know I am. It might be slowly, quietly, but it's steady. And that's enough for me. Because life gets messy before it gets good. Not because you're cursed. Not because you're failing. Not because... No, it's because you're leveling up. You're outgrowing old habits, old people, and old versions of yourself. You're evolving. And I know that growth is messy, but it's so worth it in the end. So if your life feels chaotic right now, if everything is hitting you at once, you feel like you're barely holding it together, just know this right now, you're not breaking down. You're actually breaking through. And the version of you that's going to come out on the other side, yeah, he's going to be proud you didn't quit. Oh yeah, that's where I've been. That's what has been going on in my life. Financial stress, a friend switching up, a speeding ticket, life forcing me to slow down and actually take a look at myself. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't fun, and it wasn't inspirational in that moment, but it was real. And honestly, I think I needed it. Because sometimes life doesn't give you a warning. Sometimes it just throws everything at you all at once because it knows you won't change unless you're uncomfortable. And I was damn sure uncomfortable. But I'm better for it. I'm not perfect. I'm not fully healed. I'm not done growing. But I am moving forward. I'm learning. I'm rebuilding. And that's enough. So if you are watching this and your life feels messy right now, if everything just hit you all at once, if you feel like you're barely keeping it all together, just know you're not alone. You're not failing, you're not falling apart, you're just transitioning. You're getting better, outgrowing the old and in with the new. And even though it doesn't feel like it yet, life gets messy before it gets good. And when it finally gets good, you look back at those chapters and realize it wasn't the end. In fact, it was just the beginning. So yeah, that was my little story. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to keep trying to make these, since life isn't so messy anymore. But with that, hope you guys did enjoy. Gonna have you guys like and subscribe for more. But with that being said, my name is Aiden, and this is Gaming Thoughts and Talks. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.